Hello. I have the pleasure to be together with Noel Hanrahan and Jennifer Bear. We met on the Rosa Luxemburg conference. Now it's Rosa Luxemburg conference time in Germany, in Berlin, like every year. And these great ladies accepted to make a short interview with me. So thank you very much. It's really an honor. And I would like to start with Noel. Noel, you are known for the prison radio, and it's known also. I mean, everywhere, not only in the USA, but everywhere in the world. So my first question would be about Mia Abu Jamal, and the second about the prison radio, about this project. So first of all, we are very much interested. How does he do? How does his health? How is his health? And what is his legal situation, or anything you would like to tell us?
So Mumia is serving life without possibility of parole in a U.S. prison. And he's been in prison now 40 years. And his health has gone up and down over the last number of years. And it's been very dire at times. So the state was denying him the hepatitis C cure when he had hepatitis C. And we fought and filed a lawsuit, and we were able to get him the cure, but not before he was in a diabetic coma and he was near death.
Yeah.
So we were able to secure his ability to be cured. And then other prisoners around the country used that. It was because a capitalist corporation was making the cure very expensive. And the prisons weren't giving it to them. Even though there was no other treatment for it, they were just letting them die. So we did that fight. And then a number of years ago, in 2017, he had double bypass heart surgery. And we've been advocating for a better diet and for monitoring of his health. So we do that. I see him every 2 weeks, and we order his medical records, and we're advocating for exercise and a better diet. So we have to bring a bright, white, hot spotlight onto the prisons for our loved ones inside to get any kind of care. And Mumia is both extraordinary as a political prisoner and as an intellectual, but he's also ordinary. He's just like any other prisoner in the U.S. And his family really cares about him, and we're deeply involved with trying to keep him alive at the same time that we're trying to bring him home. Prison Radio began working with Mumia in July of 1992, recording his material and bringing his books to the public. And then we also did a movie called Long Distance Revolution. So we are committed to working with him as a public intellectual, as a journalist. We are comrades and we are colleagues. But in addition, he needs his freedom. He was illegally incarcerated. He was given an unfair trial. He has had worldwide support, but our state, Pennsylvania in the United States, and Philadelphia, our city, is incredibly corrupt and unwilling to let him go and give him relief. So legally, he has had extraordinary new evidence revealed, boxes buried in the district attorney's office that said from a key eyewitness, "Where was my money?" written to the judge weeks after the trial. They said that was irrelevant, that it would not have affected one juror's opinion. And a judge said it was completely, even if it were true, she said, it wouldn't have mattered. There was eyewitnesses saying that when Mia did it, there were prostitutes that were given the ability to work for free and never arrested again. And those documents were also in those records. So there were pile boxes that had gotten shoved into a closet, like closet 17, and in the basement of the DA's office. And they were found. Whereas the rest of the regular file had been scrubbed clean of all of this. So they found material. And we were not allowed to present that. Now that that ruling is on appeal, we're appealing those evidential rulings that are not allowing you to have a new trial. We're appealing those to the Pennsylvania Supreme Court. It's very unlikely they're going to say yes. So they want to make sure that the 30 or 40 years of corruption in our little town in Philadelphia stays unexamined. And if Mia were to be let out, that would open up a Pandora's box for them because most of the convictions would manufacture. So it's all politics of imprisonment. It's many cases, local, and they want to keep their local influence. And that's why they're keeping me. In addition, he never stopped before. He never stopped resisting. He never stopped telling the truth. So he was a journalist who always confronted the state. And when he was arrested and framed for a murder, then they were trying to silence him. So over the years, they tried to threaten him in many ways. And he's in a very restricted. He's not allowed to have much in terms of visits. He's not allowed to have, his phone calls are limited to 15 minutes. They harass him in terms of he can't congregate with other people. He's a special security status of each code. If he goes to the yard, people can't come around him. So it's a very restrictive prison. He's on pod. When he's inside his cells over 16 hours a day, most prisons in America, when you have life, you're out unless you're in for count or overnight. He's in. He has to buzz and they have to answer the door, open it. He's in his cell over 16 hours a day. When he comes down to the day room, he has to sit. They won't let him walk. He's got a heart disease, so they won't let him walk. But they do give him there's one machine, an elliptical on the day room. Only two prisoners can use it because he has an adapter from like 20 years ago. And some Puerto Rican prisoner adapted a 9-volt battery. Nobody else can use it. So they close the yard. So he goes to a yard with very few guys in it. Outside. They close it for snow. They close it for heat. They close it for staff shortage. They close it for hail. They close it all the time. So his ability to get enough exercise is severely limited. His food is terrible, horrific, and not conducive to keeping your health up. So we have to continue to make sure that we try and bring it along.
We will follow that for sure. You can be sure we'll be in solidarity with them until we will go home.
Yeah, and then he continues. He's doing his PhD.
Oh, really?
He's studying Fanon. He's all but dissertation. He's writing his dissertation right now.
Oh.
He's done 14 books. This is his 14th book. We've published the Murder Incorporated series, America's Empire, Genocide, and Manifest Destiny, which is a fabulous magnum opus. And he is continuing to resist. He does weekly commentaries. We have fought to make sure that we are able to record his voice. And we have recorded over 3,000 of his radio essays, and we will not abandon him and stop until he's free.
Very good. It's also your commitment is very important and a great example. And now I'm coming to the next comrade. Her name is Jennifer Black, and she's the editor of this book, Beneath the Mountain. She's a researcher, and I would like to ask you a bit about this book. So, how did you write it? Why did you write it? How did it come out? Can you tell us a bit about it?
Certainly. Mia and I co-edited this book together. And really this collaboration came from, years of conversations and talking back and forth, and working with other prisoners, doing educational outreach, and really considering the role of politicization and a prisoner's experience. We've also been very impacted by the incarcerated radical tradition. This idea of politicized prisoners animating their own experiences and talking about their own experiences. And in this collection of essays, we strived to collect essays that would tell a story of anti-prison, the development of anti-prison thought in the United States, as well we're on one hand, I come from Pennsylvania, and Pennsylvania has a very active prison movement. I know many politicized prisoners, and they've sort of developed a curriculum inside prison, which has, sort of spoken to their own experiences and contextualized their own experiences of incarceration in a tradition of political movements. So what we're trying to do with this book is gather the essential texts that other prisoners have read, like the curriculum, so to speak, that they've read inside prisons, and written inside prisons, and to sort of educate themselves. We're also very aware of the fact that it's hard to get information in prison. Of course, nobody has access to university libraries or any kind of digital research. So what we tried to do is put together a book that would be very helpful for other incarcerated people who are on the journey of self-education, or for any student of the world who doesn't have access to institutional learning resources and things like that. So we wanted to put together a book to sort of reflect the tradition of incarcerated radical people, and also, serve as an example of it. So it can serve as, part of the canon of the incarcerated radical tradition.
Really great. I hope a lot of people will read it in the USA and out of the USA. And I heard you already told me that you already work on your next book project. Can you tell us a bit about that?
Yes. Well, in this book, we really focused on the tradition, the incarcerated radical tradition in the United States. But of course, we know that in the same way that empires trade tactics of terror with each other, we also know that, anti-fascists and radical people also share strategies of resistance. And we've been very influenced by movements around the world. Political prisoners in this country, and also politicized prisoners have been very impacted by, other prison movements around the world. So what we're hoping to do with our next book is make it a more global book, looking at examples from Ireland, from Turkey, from, Palestine, from around the world, and compile texts that would be useful and helpful for incarcerated radicals to read, to sort of understand the trajectory of, anti-prison resistance and resistance to oppression and tyranny.
This is great. It's really exciting, and I'm already looking forward to read the book. Thank you very much for doing this very valuable and extraordinary political work. Thanks for your courage. I can imagine you have a lot of repression. Thanks for your commitment, and thanks that you came to the Rosa Luxemburg conference and gave me the chance to make this interview. Yeah. Thank you very much. Have a nice flight back to the States.
And thank you.